Being our MC of all of our major events, he hit all of our criteria. He is intelligent, he's articulate, he's personable, he's hot, and he's free. Free is really important to us. We look for every penny we can get. I had to write this down. I'm also supposed to thank our volunteers. So, the festival without volunteers, this wouldn't happen because we can't afford to pay anybody. Carrie Maxwell, Michael Aboza, Michael Cooper, where is Coop? Coop, there you go. Former board member, always looking good. Keep coming, honey. Michael Correa, David Hackett, and the young, beautiful lady who helped us put together this silent auction, and also former board member, Laura Angelucci. Thank you so much. I also want to say a very special thank you to another gentleman who put most of this together, who wouldn't come up here, but you know, I'm not going to keep any secrets. He was out partying till 7 in the morning. He's still here. Paul Highfield, right there. At about 6:01, he will be passed out, so he'll be great. As you heard, we have 30 plaques along the street. We are really proud about that. This year, we added Paul Porter, Sally Rye, Dave Didrikson, Stonewall, Father Mychal Judge, David Kato, and Audre Lorde, and we couldn't be more proud. I want to say just a couple minutes about last weekend. Last weekend, we dedicated the plaques. We do that for the LGBT youth, and we had a number of youth from Lincoln Park High School who couldn't have been more adorable, who read all the plaques as we went along. And I'm serious about this. If those of you that were here, there was every single plaque. It was moving. It was important. It was so special to hear the stories that were very personal at each one of those plaques. But the moment that was most special at all was we had a pizza party at Center Halsted for the kids. And one of our board members, Sam, is our treasurer. Sam, where are you? There you are. Sam had the brilliant idea to ask the kids if they wanted to say anything. So we had 3 kids from Lincoln Park High School come up, and to hear them talk about what this meant to them. Although the first young man, who was 17 years old, and came up and said, you know, I've been gay for years. Oh, honey. That is so adorable, like, Mike on a cover wrist. Anyway, the good thing was this year, no one compared me to their grandfather, so that was like the highlight for me. It was an incredibly moving experience. And the last group of people that I want to thank are all of you here. Thank you so much for coming. This means so much to us. Once a year we get to celebrate all the plaques in every community, so thank you so much for coming. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Sean, who is around to introduce our next speaker.
Thank you, Ralph. You know, I just noticed the date today, which is the 18th, and it's 20 years ago tomorrow that I actually said for the very first time to someone else, I'm gay, which is, you know, 1994, that's pretty cool. Well, very gay. Do you have a sip of that for me? I don't know if it's Tracy, but it looks good. It is. All right. It is my honor to introduce one of my coworkers and my best friend in the whole wide world. I introduced him to the Legacy Project last year, and he has been not only a supporter in name, but also he wrote a big fat check to put up Sally Rye's plaque, which is across the street and 2 pylons down. If you want to take a look at it with the lead tonight, it's wonderful. The first American woman in space, and someone who, until she passed away just a few years ago, held her personal life very close to her. So I said, Tom Chiola from WGN, wouldn't it be cool if you were to write a check to honor Sally Rye, who is this woman of science. You guys are just two peas in a pod. A big nerdy pod. Except for when she talked, she didn't have 50 graphics behind her. So Tom, if you could come up and say a few words to the group, appreciate it.
It is such an honor to be here. It is such an honor to have a chance to, in a small way, memorialize this woman who was just extraordinary. You know, there's quite a book out now on Sally Ride that Lynn Scher, the ABC correspondent, has written, and perhaps you've heard her talk about it. There's real love and affection there. And she said, you know, Sally Ride was not real open about her life. She didn't even like to do the public appearances and all, but she realized, being an astronaut, part of the NASA program, that this went with the territory, and she dutifully did it, and did it beautifully. And I can remember years ago, our Muriel Clear, one of our reporters, going down to the Science and Industry Museum, when they did one of these live broadcasts from space with Sally Ride talking to young people via a television hookup down at the museum. And little did I had no idea that Sally was a member of the LGBT community. I think, you know, she comes from a generation, and I can identify with this. Sean is my roommate, and I look at the ease with which he handles his sexuality and all. When I was coming along, you were very quiet about it. You didn't dare stand up and talk about this. You felt kind of alone. And I think we've come a long way, and it's a wonderful place to come to where young people don't feel that they have to hide who they are the way we used to, you know, when we were young. And so I can identify with Sally's privacy. And Sean told me that he was working on this project. He did this amazing tape that you're going to see later on that commemorates these amazing LGBT people and their contributions to society. And this is something that when I was coming along, we never heard anything about that. You know, we knew Tchaikovsky was gay. That was the first piece of classical music I ever listened to. You know, it was amazing. And I was told that his music was banned because he was gay in Russia. And there's so many stories like this. But it's too bad she didn't live long enough to be able to be more open about it, and maybe she would have chosen to be, who knows. But I will tell you this, her accomplishments are amazing. And believe me, that's a competitive world. It's kind of, and I see up front, Alan Turing. I read a book about him. Did you know that Alan Turing is the genius behind every device that we use today in the modern world? He speculated that the universal machine would come along. And this was a machine that if it was programmed, although you use the word program, if it was given the proper instructions, it could solve any problem that was put to it. Of course, the instructions are what we now call software. And von Neumann, the Hungarian-American mathematician who at Princeton University in the 1940s put together the digital computer, used Alan Turing's work as the basis for his work. And now every time we pull out a phone, or we sit at a home computer, or we look at the output of a supercomputer, this was the byproduct of his genius. He also wrote the Enigma code, which you know, ended World War II early. And the Queen, only a month and a half ago, came out and formally apologized on behalf of the UK government for what they did to him. They prosecuted him because he was in a homosexual relationship, a gay relationship, and they chemically castrated him, and he committed suicide. In 1950. This is a man who probably ended World War II early. They finally got around to apologizing. How moving. Well, thank goodness they didn't do this to Sally. And I'll tell you, she is an amazing woman. Read Lynn Scher's book. There's real love there. And she talks about her friend Lynn Scher. Sally Ride. And thank you, folks, for giving me a chance to do this. And Victor, to you, I'll tell you, who kept after me. Because I'm not a tough one to nail down. I'm over there looking at my little weather maps all day long. What's that?
Yes, you are.
I am. Oh, he is nothing if not persistent. And thank God we have people like him in the world. I'll tell you that. At any rate, Guys, thank you. And thanks for the chance to, in a small way, help memorialize a pretty extraordinary human being, to say the least, Sally Ride.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. Give them a big round of applause for generosity and time. See, he didn't even need a weather map to capture your attention. All right. Next up is the brains behind this whole operation and the reason why we're all standing in one room buying raffle tickets, drinking slushies for a good cause. All right. More raffle tickets? And silent auction, by the way, if I haven't said anything, there's a silent auction going on. Right behind me. All right, Victor Salvo, give it up for Victor.
Oh. Okay. Well, thank you guys all for coming out. This is terrific. It's a very important event for us. This is an important dedication for us. As I said last weekend, this was the first time that I think the project actually seems real to me. The third time that we've done it. The first time, if you had any idea what we went through to get those first 18 plaques up, it's a miracle. The fact that they gave us official approval to install the legacy walk roughly 12 hours before they started welding them on gives you an idea of how the city of Chicago operates in the best of circumstances. And last year, it was really important that we have a second installation to prove that it wasn't just a lark that we did it the first time. But this year, it was, to me, and I think I speak on behalf of the board too, because we only had one corporate sponsor this year, Stoli, who's also paying for all your drinks, so give it up for Stoli. All of the other plaques that were sponsored by people with personal conviction, like Mr. Stilley, who just spoke. And that made this dedication extremely, I think, important and personal, and that ceremony reflected that. And now that we've got that magic number of 30, I think this is the largest collection of bronze biographical markers in the world right now. And because it's only going to get bigger, it's not likely to ever lose that title. And that's for any group of people, let alone LGBT people. So, some of the folks who are kind of chatting back, kind of keep it down a little bit. It's really distracting for people who are up here. Sorry about that. Anyway, I did want to talk a little bit about the education program. The Legacy Walk, as cool as it is, it's really just the tip of the iceberg. This project rises and sets on our desire to create educational materials so that we can work with high school kids through Illinois State Schools Alliance and bring GSAs to the street who actually learn about the history that they're not taught about in school. We have lesson plans and study guides and reading lists and multimedia. It's a really important thing, and we're trying to continuously embellish upon that. We'll be starting an intern programs this fall and in the spring to continue to build on those particular resources. We're bringing some cool stuff online in about a month. We'll start installing small magnetic stickers on each installation for NFC technology who's got iPhone 6, where you'll be able to go up and basically tap your phone against the plaque and it will bring up all the digital content that's related to that person as well. And that's the first, yes, that is the first educational application of NFC in the United States and the only outdoor application of it. So we're also getting ready to launch a national tour, what we call the Legacy Wall, a 20-foot-long memorial carrying biographies of about 50 or 60 people that will tour the United States, going to 12 to 18 universities over an 18-month period. So this is a project that we really appreciate you guys getting behind. I want to go ahead and have me cue up the video that we're showing you. Some of this you may recall from last year where it was actually shown in the rough. Some of you have probably seen it already. This is the finished version of it, and it has gotten about 10,000 hits. It's an extremely, I think, effective teaching tool that if you guys haven't looked at it, please pay attention to it and recommend other people go to our website, www.legacyprojectchicago.org, to take a look at it. So, cue that beautiful beam footage.
Did you know that every day,